Anything better you want to understand?
Not yet, sir. I will
Okay, very good. Hi, Nikita. All right, we can start now. So I will continue from where I stopped yesterday's class. Okay. Yeah. Yesterday I covered up to the deployment model and different deployment models. So I will start with service model. Yesterday what we saw are different types of cloud computing on basis of deployment. But today what we are going to see is on basis of service. So on basis of service model, there are three types. One is IaaS, next one is PaaS, third one is SaaS. So soft infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. These are three different types of service models. So to understand these things better, I will explain you how does everything look like on the layers. I try to explain you a simple way. You understand your laptop. Okay? Laptop is also divided into some layers. If you observe on the bottom layer, you have your uh, RAM, CPU. Okay. On top of that, you have your operating system. Okay. Then on top of that you have the applications you install. Means the for example Java, your application code is Java code. So you will install Java, or you want Python. So you install Python, or any software you install. Then on top of that is your application altogether. Means the code, the whole application altogether. So when you take your laptop, this is what it is. So before you buy your laptop, what do you see? You see the RAM, CPU of your laptop. Later, you have your operating system like Windows, Linux, Mac, anything. On top of that, you have your software tools. Then you have your code or applications. Now, why am I talking about these layers now is these are a high level layers of any system. If I go with a in-depth diagram, I think some of the terms will be new for you. If you have any doubt, I will tell you. See, on the extreme left, if you see, it is a on-premise. Means forget about cloud for some time. On-premise, how does this layers look like? See, these are the same four layers I have explained you here, but again, each layer has some sub-layers kind. Okay, the networking. So you need to always read from bottom. So networking, storage, servers. Okay, networking, storage, server. Then you have your virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, and application. These are the same thing, but I have given some additional layers also. Here, some additional layers are also there. So if I read up to virtualization, that will tell you your networking components, CPU, RAM, and all those things. Then you have your OS, middleware, and runtime. Means those are your operating system and the dependent software and everything. Then on top of that, you have your data and application. So in a case of on-premise, where cloud is not there, every step you have to take care, or every step you need to select, you need to configure. So when cloud is not there, you need to get the servers, select the RAM, select the CPU capacities, then select what OS you want, then install it, then what version you need and what softwares you want to develop, then that tools you need to install. On top of that, you need to again bring the dependencies of that software. After that, you ask your developers to code. Then you bring your data and then your applications will be ready. So this is a high level concept of what happens for the application inside a company, inside a on-premise. But now the right hand side, if you observe as I go towards right, the darker layers are there, right? They are CSP responsible, means cloud service provider is. See, this is something like a ready-made thing. So on-premise, everything you need to take care. Whereas if you go to infrastructure as service, cloud will take care of getting ready your laptop, RAM, CPU, of all your server things. They will create and give it ready-made. So you just need to select what OS you want and what are all the softwares you want to install and start writing your. So this is your responsibility. So that is customer responsibility, means our responsibility. Now the platform as a service, it's much better. Means the cloud is going to give you install the ready-made servers. Means they are going to give the OS and also install whatever softwares you need and whatever runtimes you need. Everything it is going to create and give it to you. So your responsibility is only in writing the code and creating the application. Now in the last scenario, software as a service means you see that nothing is your responsibility here. Nothing is your responsibility. Everything is cloud responsibility. So what is that software as a service is? Take the case of your Gmail or Outlook or OneDrive. Okay. Do you have anything to implement or write program inside Outlook? Do you program anything inside Outlook or in OneDrive or Gmail? Do you program something?
No.
No, because it's a software as a service. Means they are giving you the end product. You have nothing to do. Everything is done by cloud service provider. So you are just like a end user, you are using it everything. So if you compare all these four, in the extreme left, everything you have to do, and in the extreme right, you have nothing to do. So I compare this with house. Okay, in the case of on-premise, you think like you have a one land, okay, or one plot. Then you build your house and you decide your interiors, and then you bring your furniture and all the items inside. So in a case of on-premise, it is like everything is you and your responsibility. Now infrastructure is as a service is something like there is a builder who builds the house and give it to you, right? Then interior you have to take care and also bring your own items at the house. When we move to platform as a service, it is more like interior also they are giving. I mean, the cloud service provider is getting ready and give it to you. You need to just move into the house and bring your own items. Now, in the software as a service, you have nothing to do. You have all the items set up inside a house. You just need to walk into the house with just whatever you need. So these are very important concepts, but you will understand this concept when we do it practically. At this moment, you just think that there are three varieties are there, or rather four varieties are there, and what is that it is going to happen. That level you understand for now. Okay. Later, I think in next 10 classes, within next 10 classes, you are going to see some services where you will clearly understand what is infrastructure as service, what is platform as service, and what is software as. So these three things you will understand. But this is very simple. If you keep it simple. On in a case of on-premise, you have to do everything. Whereas in a software as service, you have nothing to do. Everything is given by cloud. It's a ready-made product. Now, in the infrastructure as a service, you need to select your operating system and also what is the coding you are going to do. Whereas in a platform as a service, for example, if I ask you, like you people are rather new to these things, right? If I ask you to install Java related runtime and Java related application, do you have knowledge of doing it? Like what you have to install and everything?
No.
Do you platform as a service? Okay. Whereas if I have a knowledge on implementing or exactly selecting what is it needed, so I will go with this option. So that is the advantage. It is more like uh, things get easier as you go on doing this. Okay? Yeah. Actually, can you give me a minute? I will be back. Just a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm here. So So these are very important things, especially when you are attending an interview as a basic experience for like a fresher or less than 1 year experience in cloud or less than 2 years experience in cloud. This topic may come up in interview. But if you are attending an interview with more than two, most probably they won't ask. Okay. But as a knowledge purpose, you need this. Okay. So infrastructure as a service, I have given some theory. What are the advantages with the infrastructure as a service is obviously it's a cost effective thing because you are not doing certain amount of things like infrastructure has been taken care of cloud. I mean taken care by cloud. So your risk will get reduced. So server is created by AWS or Azure, and we are just installing the software we need. So that is why this is more cost effective. But disadvantages here, see, everywhere the disadvantage you remember, the more the control is with the cloud service provider, that is the disadvantage for you. Means you can't customize it. That is true, right? What is the difference with going a ready-made dress? Means you don't have some customization or chance of customization. Whereas you purchase the cloth and get it stitched, obviously you have more choices and more options to customize. So that is the main point here. That is why if it's infrastructure as a service, you have lesser control. As you go on further, your control will reduce. Take the case of a Facebook or Instagram. Do you have any control on modifying something? No control at all. Because it's a software as a service. Everything as an end product, whatever the service provider is giving us, we have to use it. We don't have any option to modify anything. That is the advantage and disadvantage. Advantage is that we get something ready made. Disadvantage is that your control is getting reduced. See, platform as a service, you are going to get the application also from the cloud service provider. Only thing is you need to build the application on. You need to build the application. So that is the advantage. Now, the use cases, most of the analytical applications or any SQL server, those are all the classic examples of platform as a service. As I said, software as a service is like completely the software itself is you are getting as a service. So the control is much lesser now. So use cases is Outlook, OneDrive, Facebook, or any other application. That is the best example of software as a service. I will share this document tomorrow because I will complete this document, whatever it is there inside it, and then share it. So, till now, whatever we have studied, okay, it applies to all cloud service providers, whether it's Azure, whether it's AWS, or whether GCP, it does not matter. So, now the question is, who are all the cloud service providers we have? So, majorly AWS, Amazon Web Service, or we have Azure, a Microsoft product, or GCP, Google product. Then we have Alibaba, Salesforce, Oracle. So like this, many service providers are. So major at this moment, even whenever you see your any job descriptions and everything, it comes with AWS or GCP or Azure. And as I was keep on saying, it, it does not matter whichever service provider you choose. All are same. And we are going to focus more on AWS because AWS is a market leader. So more job opportunities are there in AWS. That is the reason we are going to pick AWS in our class. Okay. So then some people have a doubt. What are all the jobs you have in cloud? Right? So project managers, sales people have jobs, marketing people have jobs, executives, then the legal team, finance team, are beginner level IT and tech professionals. Means the people who have 10 years of experience in IT can shift their career into cloud. Even a fresher who is coming out of college can start with a cloud job. Right? This Gartner Magic Quadrant is just one diagram which will show you who is the market leader. Means the percentage of usage. So if you see AWS is on the top. Second is Microsoft Azure. Third is GCP. Then it's followed by Alibaba, Oracle, IBM. So now in cloud, what are all the services we have or categories of services? There are multiple categories of services are there. Predominantly, we should focus on compute services, storage services, database services, networking services, security services. These are very important. And if you observe this slide on compute services, I have given all three cloud service providers. That's what I was saying. All three are same. So if I talk about virtual server, in AWS we call it as EC2 engine, whereas in Azure we call it as virtual machine. In GCP we call it as compute engine. For platform as a service, AWS have Elastic Beanstalk, whereas Azure have Azure App Service. GCP have App Engine environment. Means that is what I exactly told you. It is like Uber, Ola, and Rapido. For every scenario, you have some service. The names might be different, but what we are going to achieve is same. Okay, that is the reason I have given in these slides all three service provider names. There is no need for you to learn everything or remember something out of this. Just for your uh, knowledge, I am just giving it. Any point of time in future we have learned AWS, right? So there is an EC2 instance and you want to know what is the service name in Azure. It just means go to Azure. In Azure you call it as virtual machines. That's all. Okay. For that purpose, I have given it. So don't try to remember these things or by heart these things. No one is going to ask you these questions anywhere in interviews. It is just for your idea and knowledge. For that purpose, I have given this. And as we started learning, we are going to go step by step. We will start with compute services. Then I will teach you the storage services. Then I will teach you database services, then networking services, security services, container services. So these are all the step by step things which we are going to learn. Okay. Now, till now, whatever I said is all applicable for all cloud service providers. But from now onwards, whatever I am going to say is just for the AWS. Okay. The terms and the services, the portal I am going to use, everything will be AWS only. But towards the end of our course, I will just walk you through how Azure look like and what are the different things. I mean, how does it differ from AWS?
Sure.
All right. So I will pause here. If you have any questions, please ask me. Anyone has a question? You can ask.
No, no questions from my side.
Okay. Okay. Let's start with AWS. So to practice the services or to create services to use AWS, what is the first thing you need is you need to connect to AWS port. That is called AWS console. AWS console. For 1 year, you get a free tier. Okay. See, again, I'm telling you clearly, 1 year it is free tier does not mean everything is free. Only selected capacities, selected services are free. Some services are minimal charges applicable. Okay. If you don't want to spend money, it's up to you whether to practice or. Okay. So when you create this, I mean, how to create this account is just, it is as easy as creating a Gmail ID or any other account. So you just need to create a free account and you need to give your email address and other information. They will ask you for the credit card information, but they won't deduct any bill from credit card directly. I think in the beginning they will just charge with $1 or something. That is very nominal for 1 year. Okay, for throughout year they are going to charge only $1 I think. Okay, other than that they won't charge anything or they won't deduct anything from your credit card by default. So even if some bill is there, you need to pay it. Even though your credit card information is there, they are not going to deduct in AWS. Whereas in Azure, they will deduct. Remember that. So this is very simple. You need to sign up, verify your email address, and then you are good to connect to the AWS. Okay. So when you connect to the AWS, so this is the screen you are going to get. There are two types of users are there. I will explain you the second type of user in next class, but for now it's a root user. So when do you remember I told you when you registered, you would have registered with your Gmail address, right? So that is your root user. Remember when you are login with root user, it will be using your email address. Next, you need to give the password. There is the MFA also. Okay. So when you log in, very first time, you will end up into this page. Remember one thing, if you are login with your email address, it is a root user, means super user. Like it has all the permission, all the rights and everything. That is why it is called super user. Next. So this is the landing page. So you can see whatever your previous bills and other solutions. You can explore your landing page. The AWS is very good in documentation. So every information you want, you will have a documentation. You can go there and read it. Okay, I will tell you how to go there and how to use this uh, documentation. Next, on the extreme right, you will see your account information. So account ID is your unique account ID, then account information, then your quotas, then billing and cost management is a section where you can see your bill. So the bills, your AWS account bills, usage and payments, everything is seen here. So if you want to pay something or what is the bill currently, so my current bill is month to date. For the 3 days or 2 days is 0.66 and it says the forecast is this much. Means if I go with the same thing, my bill may be $4. That is what it says. Okay, and if I see, if I come here, I can move my cursor here. It will show me what are all the services for which I have been billed. So I can easily know how much my bill is and which services I have used and for which the bills are getting generated. For say, for example, I have currently a bill for Route 53. There is a service name. So I can go to that Route 53 and stop that service. That's what I told you, right? You are billed only for what you use. So it is always better for you to go and delete the things. If you are not using it and they are billing you, just go and stop it so that your bill will stop at $0.5. But if you leave it, tomorrow will be another X amount. Then daily it keeps on increasing. By the end of the month, it will be more amount than what you are really intended to. Right? That is why it is very important. And one more important thing is you can also select the budgets. So what is this budget? Budget means, say for example, every month you have a budget of $5 for your learning AWS. So you will set up a budget of $5. And whenever your budget is uh, reaching, like say for example, on 20th itself, you are looking like your budget is going to get crossed. So you will get some alerts. So that way your actuals and budgets you can compare. That is the main purpose of this budget. So you can always look at the reports. You don't look this one as an individual, like you are creating it. So don't think that why I need all these things. Think like a company. For example, you are owner of a company. So you created a AWS account because you and your team or your colleagues, whoever working in your office, are going to develop the application, are going to use the services. So you need to track all the bills, budgets, amounts, the previous bills, which department is, billing high, or what are the individual bills of the project. So everything you can track. That is the main part. So don't think that this is your AWS account and what I will get by observing all this. No, think like a company. For example, you join a company tomorrow. That company will have a AWS account. So as a programmer or a DevOps engineer, you will get a login into the account. True. That means your company, Say for example, your company is HCL. So HCL would have created an AWS account, just like how I did now, with a email ID. Say for example, admin@hcl.com. Someone would have created AWS account for HCL. And do you think this email ID will be shared with all the people to log into AWS? There will be thousands of employees in HCL. Do you think they will share this email address with everyone, the password and email address, just like how I logged in now?
I don't know.
No, that's it. Just think and say. Do you think the company will share with thousands of employees in their company their email address and password for login? They won't. Why? One reason is they won't because that's a root user and it's a super admin. Means all permissions are there. So they won't do this. But in reality, if you observe, every company have different levels of employees. Some employees are senior employees, some employees are database engineers, some people are testers, developers, managers, senior managers. Not everyone rights are same. Some people have additional rights, some people have a lower right, some people have read-only access, some people have write access, some people have full access. True? If let's assume if we share this root user to everyone, what will happen? Everyone becomes a super admin. So if you create a file somewhere and someone can easily come and delete it because they are having rights as well. They are sharing same ID. Even by mistake, someone should not delete a file or something because this data can be a client data. Client information, you can't delete it just like. Even for the just for a thought, even the code also you can't simply delete, right? Someone would have written a code. What if by mistake other person goes there and deletes it, right? So you need to control the permissions, access rights, and lot of things are there. That plays very important role. Saying that no need to worry, it's a very simple thing. I am going to teach you all this. But remember that root user is not something used by everyone. And that is what I got some time back. When I was connecting, it asked me two options: root user, IAM user. So whenever I am connecting, it will ask for two options. Are you looking to connect with root user or IAM? If just like now, I'm an individual, or tomorrow if you create a AWS account, you are an individual. So there is no harm or there is no chance that second person is coming in and using your account. But if it is a company level, like I said in HCL, so what HCL is going to do is they are going to just log in first time and they start creating the IAM user. It means IAM user is nothing but IAM means identity and access management. Means in a company, how you are going to manage your identities and permissions. So this is a place where after you say, for example, you have one admin person. In your office itself, there will be a admin role, correct? Someone is an admin. So for that purpose, so for that person, you are going to share this and tell. Now you create all the IAM users for all our employees. So this is the place where we are going to get users. Means each person, like whoever joins, they will be created as a user, and we are going to create a proper permissions for them. Okay. See, IAM section is very important. I am going to explain you about IAM. Okay. I am going to explain about IAM maybe next class. Okay. But before that, what we want to see here is I will go back, and now there is a 3 lines here, or even here. You can see the categories of services. I told you categories like compute, containers, database, storage, security, and those things, right? But there are so many other categories of services. The ones which I showed you, 5 or 6, are like foundation services. Means categories is nothing but, see here, for the cryptocurrency application, blockchain services are there. For databases, you have database services. For machine learning, you have machine learning category. Or for media services, you have media services. Like that, you have lot of services, lot of categories of services. So you can go to any category of services and approach the particular service. Or you can also type here EC2. You will get the type of service, that service, and you can connect, you can do further. And there is also settings section here, and this is a place where regions are there. See, your AWS account is divided into physical region. Okay. So those are, I will explain you this topic tomorrow, wherein what is a region and how does it get divided into. Okay. But if you observe here, it is very clear that AWS account, in every account, you have multiple regions. You can go to any region and create a service. So whichever region you are in will be displayed here. Currently, I am in Mumbai region. I can change to Virginia. So you have full rights to create services in any region. I can even create in Canada Central or Osaka also. I can create any region. You have no restrictions at all. Okay. So any region you can create, and the prices of the services in each region it differs. Okay. But there are certain aspects which I have to explain about region. I will explain whenever I come in this category of services. Okay. I will explain you in detail. I'm just going on the overview of the service. Okay. And if I go to any service, for example, I can type here, say for example, database service. So I can just type it and go to the service. You have a lot of information see, about that services, and you can also have some documentation. So pricing and articles, tutorial, documentation, overview. So everything is there. That is why I said, right, AWS have a lot of documentation available for you. Understood? So it's in our hands in how we utilize it. Any service, just go with this service. Say for example, Snap. There are some settings information, or you say create snapshot. You have some information. So any field you have a doubt, you can click this blue color one. So you will get the definition, or you have more documentation. Suppose you did not understand what is tag, click this info. So you get the information about tags, and there is also learn more, right? So this is very important, and that is why I said documentation is there abundant in AWS. Any service data containing ECS. So if I go to ECS, don't worry about the names of services. Okay? Slowly you will remember the names of services, because it's not like one day thing, right? We are going to do these things multiple times. So you can see some theory and some video has been given, benefits and use cases, and you have some documentation. So as much as information is available in front of. Okay. So when we start our next class, right, I am going to go with IAM module. I told you IAM, right? How to create users and all those information I am going to start. So tomorrow's class, I will start with IAM. Is that fine? So it's not necessary that by tomorrow you have to create a AWS account and come to the class. You can create it as we move on. Okay? Slowly, sometime or other, you can start creating and start. If already you have it, then that is well and good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's class onwards, it will be proper services and demos will be there. And I'm going to walk you through all the methods. Okay? You just need to follow my recording and practice yourself, so
Okay.
that you get hands-on with how to do the things. But don't worry, if you face any mistake or if you face any error, next class you ask me, I will clarify. Okay? Okay then. See you.
Yeah.